your news and information leader. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
First, they were told they may have been exposed to cancer-causing dust at work.
Then they were told it could make their kids sick as well. News Channel 5 investigative reporter Ben Hall talked to local auto workers who are worried their jobs could kill them.
First thing I see in the morning is my daughter.
Ryan Johnson works hard to support his family.
She comes running up to me and I hold her.
He hugs his daughter every morning after finishing his overnight shift at the Tenneco plant in Smithville.
I'm afraid that I've actually given her a little bit of exposure to it.
But now he's afraid his job is making him and his family sick.
This last safety meeting, it was confirmed to us that we were taking it home to our families.
The plant held a series of remarkable meetings beginning last spring. They told hundreds of employees that some will likely get cancer because of air quality violations at the plant. But even more disturbing, their wives and children could also get cancer just from being around them.
The last thing I want to do is have my daughter in my arms while she's hugging me and her sitting there breathing in the dust right off my uniform.
Tenneco makes car exhaust systems like mufflers. Johnson has been a welder at the plant since 2011. But welding the stainless steel produces dust, which is contaminated with cancer-causing hexavalent chromium. Studies show overexposures lead to lung cancer. Workers breathe in the dust and get it on their clothes.
I was taking it from work into my car, and then I was taking it home to my families.
In September, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration cited the plant for 20 serious violations. They found welding booths with minimal ventilation and no warning signs about chromium. They identified welders exposed to chromium levels up to 5 times higher than the daily safety standard.
The big thing is the nosebleeds and the dermatitis. Everything else will be internal.
Johnson is already suffering symptoms of overexposure. Investigators pictured one welder with severe dermatitis. The employee said his supervisors told him it was probably his laundry detergent.
Do you worry that you will get cancer?
I'm not gonna lie, it terrified me.
Tenneco paid a $21,000 fine for the violations at its Smithville facility. But we found the company has been cited for improper testing for chromium at its Michigan plant. And OSHA leveled a $90,000 fine for exposing employees to chromium at its Hartwell, Georgia plant.
Why does it keep happening?
It's happened at 2 plants. So clearly in those 2 instances, there were some things that could have been done better, and those fixes were put into place.
Steve Blow is with Tenneco and flew in from Michigan to emphasize the company has a good safety record and is correcting problems at the Smithville plant.
Is it a safe place to work right now?
It is.
Even with those overexposure levels?
With the protective safety equipment and the safety measures we put in place, it's a safe work environment.
But in 2014, OSHA sent out a news release saying the company's repeated violations at the Georgia plant indicated it was not concerned with employee health. It stated Tenneco was being put on its severe violator enforcement program, reserved for serious repeat offenders. But after that news release was sent out, Tenneco officials met with OSHA. They gave them more information. And as a result, Tenneco was never actually placed on the program.
That's what they've been doing.
Leo Chang has worked at the Smithville plant since September.
So you thought you were safe because you weren't a welder?
That's correct. Just like many other folks in the plant.
But that changed.
That has changed.
He believes the company goes into rural communities because people there are desperate for jobs.
Does it make you angry?
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. This is unacceptable.
Why don't you just quit?
There's no better paying job than this anywhere around.
The company paints a different picture of what's happening inside the plant than what we heard from employees. Now, coming up tomorrow, I'll take a closer look at what the two sides say is really going on inside the factory.